confident are you that police can enforce the rules on what won't be your average New Year's?
Well, it most certainly won't be an average New Year, Danica, but we've been working with government agencies and other stakeholders for some time planning this operation. We know obviously the city will look different than normal, but we have sufficient resources spread across the metropolitan area to deal with anything that arises. So I'm confident we can work with local communities to ensure that this New Year's Eve is conducted in a safe way, a COVID-safe way in particular, and make it enjoyable for everyone.
You said you've been liaising with a number of stakeholders. Just how big of an operation is this for police?
Well, New Year's Eve is always our biggest operation. Every year we see literally 2,000 or 3,000 extra police officers on top of resources from police area commands and police districts around the metropolitan area. It's a big operation. It'll be no different this year. It's been planned exactly the same way that we would deal with every other New Year's Eve, although, as indicated, it's obviously going to be different. So we've got resources that will be on the ground, highly visible, flexible, being able to move around and deal with anything that comes up.
I want to ask you about a bride and 12 other people who have been fined for leaving the Northern Beaches lockdown to attend this woman's wedding near the Sydney CBD. Yeah. Why has the bride been fined but not the groom?
Well, my information is that at the current time there's been 21 infringement notices that have been issued in relation to that wedding. What I've been told is that the bride was from the Northern Beaches but the groom wasn't. So the matter's still under investigation, that you will possibly see more infringements that will be issued in relation to it. But, you know, I remind people that that's the sort of behaviour that we don't want to see. You know, the vast majority of people have been abiding by the current health orders, but we just can't afford to flout them. And, you know, again, I remind people that we need people to abide by the health orders to get through this period.
You said 21 people have now been fined. Were they all in attendance at the wedding?
That's correct. That's correct, yeah.
And do you expect more infringements to be handed out in relation to the incident?
I think so. The matter's still under investigation, and again, you know, there were a number of people at the wedding. Those investigations will take their course, but I do anticipate that others will receive infringement notices. But, you know, we'll see what the investigation results in over a period of time.
Does it suggest, though, that not everybody is getting this COVID-safe message? And heading into New Year's, how worried are you?
Oh, look, as I said, Danica, I think the vast majority of the community are abiding by the current health orders. They've been very compliant. They've sacrificed a lot over the last few months. But obviously there are exceptions to the rule, and that's what we don't want to see. We've seen other instances over the last few days of people flouting the rules. We don't want to see that. We want people to abide by the current health orders. They're there for a reason. That's to keep people safe.
Take us through this ongoing operation in the Northern Beaches. Of course, the zone is split into two parts. Are police conducting patrols of those north of the Narrabeen Bridge to ensure that they are staying in their area?
Yes, we are. There's an operation being conducted by the Police Area Command there, the Northern Beaches Police Area Command, to ensure that people are being compliant with the provisions around the Northern Beaches at the moment, but it is also and will be also part of the wider operation that will be conducted tomorrow night over New Year's Eve as well. So police are out and about. We are doing what we can to ensure that people are abiding by the health order, and as I said, the majority of people are, and those people should be congratulated for what they're doing to this point.
And overall, how have you found people? Have they been complying mostly in that Northern Beaches area with the stay-at-home order?
Yeah, the vast majority of people are doing exactly what has been asked of them. And again, you know, we need to take our hats off and congratulate those people from the Northern Beaches. It's a difficult time for them, obviously. But by and large, people are complying. But we don't want to see exceptions to the rule, and we don't want to see people flouting that. And again, I remind people for tomorrow night, you know, do not come into the city. We want to see people's movements restricted and sort of people celebrating locally rather than coming into the city. So to answer your question again, Danica, yes, the vast majority of people are doing the right thing up there.
And just finally, what would be your message for people this New Year's?
Celebrate locally. Abide by the public health orders, particularly when it comes to numbers in private residences and public gatherings. We don't want to see an outbreak of this disease as a result of people gathering against the provisions of the health order. So when it comes to the city, do not come into the city unless you've got a New Year's Eve pass. Again, celebrate locally.